First of all, would you say that your production skills have developed through the project?
Yes, I was definitely able to improve my production skills. This is shown through my opening title sequence, where my production was of much higher quality than in my earlier work, such as the encounter video. At the start of the course, when I produced the encounter video, my knowledge of editing and recording scenes were very limited, and clear developments have been made since.
How would you say your editing skills have progressed?
I began the course using CapCut to edit my preliminary tasks. This would have caused my editing capability to be more limited during my opening sequence. To resolve this issue, I developed my editing skills on DaVinci Resolve, where I learned how to add visual effects, transitions and sound adjustment, which enhanced my editing skills. I also have developed my ability to use Adobe Photoshop, which allowed me to make use of the green screen editing technique on DaVinci. This heightened overall quality and presentation of my work.
In terms of actual shooting of your project, what developments have you made in order to improve your opening sequence?
In my first draft of my opening sequence, I identified an issue regarding the camera shot types, where I recorded some of my clips vertically. This would cause issues between the clips, as they would not fit to my screen, making this non-attractive to the audience. Another issue that I encountered was the original setting and location used, which did not match the eerie dynamic intended. To resolve these issues, I reshot my clips using correct camera shots and made a PowerPoint to reflect on this. I also shot these clips in an environment more fitted to a psychological thriller.
What changes did you make to improve the conceptualizing stage of the production?
When creating the storyline, I used a shooting script on Excel. Although this did provide a clear indication of my intentions for my opening sequence, I did not strictly follow the written plan, and instead used the script as a rough plan and improvised on each intended scene, so that I was able to capture everything intended and more. This allowed my sequence to have more flow and creativity, as I was able to make the changes as I went along. Nevertheless, I ensured I stuck to the same plot and retained my initial vision. I also used a voiceover as a dialogue in the sequence. Previously, in the encounter video, dialogue was used, and this made the overall piece more tacky. Therefore, my production of the sequence showed improvements, as the voiceover I used was able to enhance the overall piece, whereas the dialogue used in the encounter made it tacky.
A big factor in producing a media text is research. How has this aspect developed through your process?
Through the use of both primary and secondary research, I produced a product suiting the needs of my target audience, as well as satisfying the criteria for a film within the psychological thriller genre. Research enabled me to ensure that all the details I used were relevant to my aim, rather than basing it off my own experiences, to ensure it appeals to a wide audience. In terms of the contents of my opening title sequence, when compared to my preliminary task, I exhibit a greater amount of creativity that comes with understanding the conventions. Also showed understanding of the film along and what I actually aimed to produce as. Even though I was greatly interested within the psychological thriller genre, I initially believed it would be more difficult to produce an exciting opening sequence with my level of skill and technology limitations before I was able to come up with a concept that was both entirely possible and entertaining.